everyone, welcome back, welcome to my channel. My name is Ren and I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things, but in June I am making more videos. I am trying to do it every day, but I've had a bit of a health flare up which hasn't been the best, so there has been a couple of days off, but here I am, hello. So I'm trying to make videos to celebrate and talk about Pride Month, and today I'm going to share with you some of my favourite books that have trans characters, and also there is one non-fiction book in this little pile. This is just books that I have read recently or read over the years and really enjoyed and thought that they were really good and really good representation. So let's get into the little pile that I have. So the first one we have is Gracefully, Grayson by Amy Polonsky. This is a book that I actually read in like 2014. I think I read it in my second year of uni and it really stuck with me, and it's actually being turned into a film, I believe, by H. Alberto, who is turning Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe into a movie as well. So I'm super excited to see that, and I think that that will be a really good portrayal of the novel. And this focuses on Grayson, who has been keeping a secret for a really long time, and that secret is that Grayson is a girl, and it focuses on Grayson dealing with that and what she will face if she comes out, and the worry of that, and people and how people react in self-esteem and discovering yourself and accepting yourself, and friendship, and how love and acceptance can really help and just support someone through who they are and for who they are. And this is one that, like I said, I read it in like 2014, but it really stuck with me and I really love it, so I've kept it all these years, and it's one that I wanted to mention. Then we have a book which I did speak about in my middle grade Rex video, but I have to talk about it here because it is one of my favourites, and that is George by Alex Gino. And George focuses on George, and when people look at George they think that she's a boy, but George is actually a girl, and George really wants to play Charlotte in the school's production of Charlotte's Web, and gets told that no, because boys can't play girls, which is just stupid logic in itself. But George hatches this plan so that she can show everybody not only that she can play Charlotte, but who she truly is. And I loved this book. Like I said, I briefly mentioned it is a middle grade book. I just think it is phenomenal. I recently read Rick by Alex Gino, which it focuses on a boy called Rick who starts to question if he is asexual and aromantic, and also is a middle grade book. And I didn't realise that it is essentially kind of a sequel to George because she's in it, which is really cool. And I just thought Rick was phenomenal. I'm lending both of them to my niece to read because I think that they're absolutely brilliant middle grade books, and I had to recommend this one because honestly I think it is phenomenal. Like, I love Alex Gino's writing and I just want to scream about Alex Gino all the time. But George. Then we have one that I am currently reading, so I haven't finished it yet, but I am loving it so far, and that is Felix Ever After by Grayson Calendar. This is a book that I've wanted to read for a really long time, and it focuses on Felix, who has never been in love and feels as though he is one minority too much. He is Black, he is queer, he is trans, and it's kind of feeling like that's going to prevent him from getting his happily ever after. Then someone starts leaking pictures of him before he transitioned, and also his dead name, and in order to try and figure out who it is, there ends up this being a little like love triangle situation. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I got the new UK edition because it has these sprayed edges, which is gorgeous, and the dedication made me really like. It says, for trans and non-binary youth, you're beautiful, you're important, you're valid, you're perfect. And that is so correct. And I'm absolutely loving this so far. I genuinely am just having the best time. There's so much in it. There's so many words, so many important things, and such an amazing exploration of gender and dealing with yourself and people around you. There's a bit about how sometimes Felix's dad still misgenders him and sometimes finds it hard to use the name Felix, and Felix saying about how he feels as though he owes his dad something because his dad paid for his hormone therapy and his top surgery, but he feels like he owes him something, but then why can't he get his name right? And it's such a simple thing, and that really interesting exploration of kind of the people around you and how their attitudes can also impact you, but then also what you owe yourself and how to look after yourself, which I just think was really important. And I just thought it was really interesting, and I'm loving this so far. I've literally been reading it today and sending pictures of certain snippets to so many of my friends, and I'm loving this. I honestly think this is going to end up being one of my favourite books. So Felix Ever After had to scream about it. Then we have Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. This is a book that I read at the end of last year, and honestly one of my favourite books of 2020, but also of ever. That's not correct grammar. And this focuses on Yadriel and when his family are kind of not really accepting of his true gender and who he is, and they don't think that he can be a real brujo. So he is determined he's going to perform his quinces ritual himself, summon the ghost, put it back, and prove that he can do it, and prove himself to his family. But when he summons the ghost, it's someone from someone that he knows, and it's like a recent death, and things kind of, he doesn't want to go back lightly. He doesn't want to be sent to the afterlife quietly. He wants to figure out what killed him, and it is everything from there. And let me tell you, this book is absolutely phenomenal. It is so good, and what I really loved about it is I loved the exploration of family and the friendship, and the fact that there was this storyline of, you know, the ghosts and trying to figure out what was happening and these killings and all of that, which I really loved. But I did also love that it had this amazing exploration of gender, and kind of that not only like kind of proving it to other people, but accepting it yourself. And ultimately that's what's important, is that Yadriel gets to the point where he does, like, he knows that he is who he says he is, and is worth and deserves to have those same experiences. And I just really loved his journey in this. I thought it was so well done. I loved his cousin Maritza, and honestly, just, it's phenomenal. It's so well done. I loved Cemetery Boys. This was Aidan Thomas's debut novel, and it honestly just knocked the ball right out of the park. Phenomenal. And then finally we have the non-fiction book that I was talking about, and that's What's the Tea by Juno Dawson. And this is, like I said, a non-fiction book all about gender, and Juno Dawson is trans, so it is written from someone who has experienced all of these things. I really liked the back. It says your no-nonsense guide to all things trans and or non-binary. I don't know why you picked up this book. Maybe it was on a nice pride display, maybe you have a trans friend or family member, or maybe you have some questions about your gender. Navigating the maze of rumours about transgender people can be bewildering, but never fear. Best-selling author and former PSHE teacher Juno Dawson is here to serve up a delicious cup of jargon-free myth-busting tea. That's the truth, unless you're wondering. And the illustrators are gender non-conforming, contributions from trans and or non-binary trailblazers, and this book is created by and for the transgender community, because it's time we were spoken to, not just spoken about, which I think is so good. And I loved the opening, right? This is one of my favourite openings to any book. So it says, "Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Juno Dawson. I'm an author from Brighton, UK, and I am a woman. Only one of those things was true to begin with. When I was born a ridiculously long time ago, I was actually from Bradford, and I wasn't an author because I was a tiny baby. Also, my parents called me James, but I was always a woman. It's true, I was. It just took me some time to figure it out. You see, the doctor who oversaw my birth made a whoopsie. It really wasn't his fault. As far as he could tell from a quick scan of my body, I was a baby boy. But what he couldn't have known all those years ago is that for a tiny fraction of people globally, their eventual gender identity does not match their biological sex. It's like a bag of chocolatey Revels. You can't always tell what's in the middle from looking at the outer shell. It's super rare, but it does keep happening. It's a thing. We call it at the moment being transgender, or sometimes trans. These days, it makes up the T in LGBTQ+. I loved that opening. I thought it was phenomenal. I loved this book. It was a very educational, very eye-opening, very good, and something which I needed at this time. And honestly, like, just so good. I really wanted to recommend this because if you want to learn about things, if you have questions about your own gender, I would really recommend. It's really good. So yes, so that was some of my favourite books that have trans main characters, or the focus of the book is because someone is transgender, and I wanted to share them with you because I think that they're so good. They have such a phenomenal exploration of gender and identity and family and friendship and who you are, so I thought it was only fitting to share them with you today. I would also love to know some of your favourite books with trans characters or about being transgender, and even non-fiction books as well. I would love to know some so please recommend me them in the comments. If you guys are new here, I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things, so if you want to stick around and join us, feel free to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. And as usual, all the links to all my other social medias and also my Stranger Things podcast, which I co-host with my friend Emily. It's called Hawkins Do You Copy, and we talk about all things Stranger Things, is in the description as well. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really, 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 really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.